Hello guys, I am Emily. Well, I used to be a bully, but that changed. I want to tell you the story of my transformation, but before we start, click on the subscribe button so you won't miss my next story. The choice is yours anyway. I always felt powerful when I picked on my classmates. Throwing bits of food and paper balls at them made me laugh, especially when they looked upset or scared. It gave me a sense of control. Nobody dared tell the teachers, and that only made me feel stronger. They knew if they did, I would just make their lives worse. I felt invincible. But everything changed one day when I was called to the headmaster's office. As soon as I walked through the door, I saw my parents sitting there. I froze. The headmistress was finishing a sentence. And that is why she is now being expelled from school. Expelled? Me? I couldn't believe it. My father turned to me and, with a calm voice, said, "Go to the car, dear. Mom and I will deal with this." I smiled a little as I left the office. Of course, they were going to fix this. My parents were always there for me, always on my side. I waited in the car, feeling proud that my parents would sort things out with the headmistress. When they finally joined me in the car, my dad spoke again. "Don't worry, dear. You'll be back at school tomorrow." A wave of relief washed over me. My parents had fixed it, just as I knew they would. I went to bed that night, confident everything would be back to normal. The next morning, as we drove up to the school, I spotted the headmistress waiting at the entrance. But something was different. She was standing there with a large trash bag and a picker in her hands. My heart sank. What was going on? As I got out of the car, the headmistress handed me the trash picker and the bag. "This will be your school duty for the next 30 days, she said firmly. I turned to my dad, pleading, "Help me, Dad. This isn't fair." But his face wasn't soft and comforting like it had been the day before. He looked at me seriously and said, "This was our idea, darling." I was stunned. My own parents? How could they do this to me? My father continued, "Your mother and I will never support bullying. What you did to those children was terrible. As parents, we have a duty, not only to give you a bed to sleep in and food to eat, but to help you grow into a good person. This punishment is part of that." I felt the sting of those words. It wasn't just the headmistress punishing me. It was my own family. They weren't going to protect me from the consequences of my actions. Instead, they were making sure I faced them head on. For the next 30 days, I had to clean up trash around the school. My classmates watched me with a mix of curiosity and relief. I wasn't the one in charge anymore. They weren't scared of me, and honestly, I began to see why they shouldn't have been. Each day, as I picked up pieces of litter, I had a lot of time to think. I thought about the way I had treated others and how it must have made them feel. It wasn't fun or funny to realize that I had hurt people just to feel powerful. I wasn't proud of myself anymore. In fact, I was ashamed. By the time the 30 days were up, something inside me had changed. I no longer saw my classmates as targets, but as people just like me. People with feelings, fears, and hopes. I didn't want to hurt them anymore. I wanted to be better. The punishment wasn't easy, but it was the lesson I needed. My parents weren't trying to hurt me. They were trying to help me understand something important. It's not enough just to be strong or powerful. What really matters is how you treat others. That's what makes you a good person. And now, every time I walk through the halls of school, I remember that lesson. Being kind, being respectful, and being fair, those are the real strengths. Bullying never made me strong. It only showed how weak I really was. I love how I changed. I love the new me now. I hope you enjoyed my story and you learned something from it, right? So don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Bye.